The Fiery Furnaces are a brother-sister duo from Brooklyn, consisting of Matthew Friedeberger, who is a multi-instrumentalist, and Eleanor Friedeberger, who does mostly vocals but some guitar. They were formed in the year 2000, and they're known for their experimental approach to indie rock with complex song structures and frequent tempo changes. Matthew handles most of the songwriting and the arrangements, whilst Eleanor provides the vocals. The career spans then from 2003 to present, with 9 studio albums, and they've gained a cult following. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of Blueberry Boat by the Fiery Furnaces, which was released in 2004 and was their second studio album, the first time I've come across them, so I've not heard the album before. It's quite a long album, it's a double album, so it's about 76 minutes long. And this is, I think, it's one of those that's quite hard to describe, partly because it's unusual, partly because there's a lot of different things going on in here. So experimental, art pop, indie rock, but with complex song structures, possibly even progressive rock is this kind of description that we can have here. There's a lot of switching around, frequent time changes, tempo changes. Within individual tracks, it's kind of going, got a bit of this, and then we're going to change, and then do something different, and change. And it's got a real mix of different sounds to it. So it goes from kind of lo-fi, garagey stuff to baroque pop to kind of fairly normal rock with a kind of band feeling to quite avant-garde bits going in there. There's heavy use of keyboards. There's some unconventional arrangements. There's often some cheap sounding keyboards and some juxtapositions of odd instrumentation together. So there's one bit where it sounds like it's a really cheap keyboard and then quite a nice piano going on at the same time. So sometimes it feels more like full and more bandy, and sometimes it feels more like bedroomy. It's just kind of been put together, what they happen to have, and I presume this is all deliberate. I can't imagine how it wouldn't be. And then it kind of shifts between quiet and noisy, and there's even some kind of more discordant and noisy rock elements in here as well. So I'm going to make a comparison. I try not to do too many comparisons because comparisons always rely on you understanding or knowing the stuff that I'm doing a comparison to. And you probably have your own comparisons, that things that I don't know. But I found that this in some ways reminded me of Frank Zappa musically, not quite, but just in this approach of we're just going to do this, then this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then and quite musically diverse. The kind of subject matter isn't really quite Zappa. It's different. And of course, it's different vocals. So we've got Eleanor Friedeberger with her, got an interesting kind of almost naive vocal style, kind of sweetness to it. And it's very narrative driven in the lyrics. So it's delivered quite kind of conversationally. And yeah. And then the content is kind of surreal stream of conscious storytelling stuff. So abstract narratives about characters and situations, a mixture of kind of normality and more fantastical stuff. But despite the fact that there's lots of changes going on, each track does feel like it's got its own distinct identity to itself, which is good. And it's kind of, I want to kind of say Edward Lear nonsensy, but it's not really. It kind of makes me think of stories of paper boats and but people riding in the paper boat. And it's just odd. I think that's probably the only way. There's a lot to dig into, and I've used that word papery because. So I have a mild case of synesthesia, so I tend to connect weird things together, and I'm finding that the music kind of reminds me of various kind of visual things, and this kind of feels like white and papery to me. Don't know why, but there we go. Apparently, it's polarizing, so some people like it a lot. It's kind of ambitious and creative, but it is. Some people find it less accessible because it's kind of odd. Some people have dismissed it as being pretentious, and it's been thought of as being a challenging listen. But it is influential in experimental indie circles. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. Not every little bit of it, because there's so many different things going on here, but it's the kind of weird that I like. It's curious, I think is the right kind of word for it. And I also feel like it could be a grower. As you got to get more familiar with it, you probably get more out of it, because there's so much density of stuff going in here. But I'm speed dating these albums, so I don't have time to do 10, 12 listens to an album, even though some of them kind of feel like maybe they deserve it. So I really enjoyed it, but it is a bit odd, and it might not be for everybody. But that's only my opinion, and I'd love to know what you think of this album. So please, can you let me know that by leaving me a comment? I'd love that. But that's it from me for now.
Later at lunch with the taco lettuce crunch, she sets herself apart the bunch. How bad does she see? She makes me wanna scream on the phone with the West Glen Ellen rest home, talking up a title tone.